All right, let's do some more 3 days of Gettysburg. We're going to talk the 11 through 1300, 11 o'clock through 1300, 1100 through 1300 game turns. And we get it right. I actually had to reshoot this. I had done the 1100 through 1200, so those of you that have already seen that video, this is just adding another turn to it. Apparently it was too fuzzy, and it was denied over board game, so I got to get that straightened out. So let's take a look real quick at the casualty numbers here. And you can see that the Confederates have taken, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, so 1,500, 1,650 infantry casualties. Seems quite a bit, don't it? And I guarantee you most of that is Heth. Maybe 1 or 2 from Pender, maybe 1 or 2 from Rhodes. The Union infantry is taken, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, so 1,600 infantry. Plus they've taken, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 400 or 350 cavalry, and they've lost a couple guns. And let's see how all this happened. Alright, so we put Harry Heth into action. He was still in attack mode, all 4 brigades, and we got Davis's brigade going. Amazingly enough, Brockenbrow, right there, he started, back over here with a shock combat, and he had 3 regiments stacked, and he had a successful shock. Then on one of the next turns, decided to do it again, and he rolled like a 12, and then which caused him to have to continue, and he got a good roll on the next one. He didn't have to continue after that, but he lost an entire regiment. I think had 200 men in it, but he shattered the left side almost by himself. Shattered the left side of the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Division of the 1st Corps, and of course Pettigrew's big regiments helped him out with that. So. Those large regiments, you use the extended line, but you don't have to. You can, of course, you make them a mass target, and, if you've got like a 12 strength unit, you're only going to fire 7. If you're going to do fire combat, get those guys into an extended line so that you can fire both of them hexes, if they're both in the same frontal of another unit, you can fire them combined as like a 12 strength. So if you have a 12 strength split up into 2 6s, and they got a unit, it's in the same frontal hex for both of them, that's 12 strength points you're firing, and believe me, you can do some serious damage. All right, so you can see that the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Division, they're shattered. They've got 3 collapsed regiments. Their brigade combat ineffective, although they got 1 regiment I think that recovered, so they'll come out of brigade combat effectiveness. I got probably a couple more chits to pull before this turn ends, but I wanted to get this video up because it's been almost a week now. 11th Corps has come in. They got knocked out of their march order by Rhodes. Rhodes is his entire division now is on the board, as you can see, and they're starting to come together. So they're gonna provide the push. And then of course you got Early who's going to come in over here, and I got Buford's Cav sitting there facing them, but he's gonna be having to move because of Rhodes. It's either that or he turns and fights, and I don't think that's an option considering Early will be on the board here shortly. 11th Corps hasn't had, I don't think, but 1 movement chit pulled, so they still got their movements to do this turn. I don't think they get 1 or 2 between them, all 3 divisions coming on. Haven't decided yet what to do with, because the way this is happening up here, the 2nd Division of the 1st Corps really hasn't been touched right in this area here. So they're going to get online, but it looks like they may need to back up to cover the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Division. And I don't know, the Iron Brigade has pulled back a little bit. I'm learning a little trick here about keeping out of artillery. Get down below the crest and let that infantry roll up on you, and the artillery can't get a shot because they can't move in there. But your artillery can be there already, and they can get good shots. So the Iron Brigade's holding out pretty strong. They haven't had a unit that's been forced to back off. Doubleday or Rowley at the moment. He's come online. I think he took a loss over there, but he's getting ready to face all the Pender, and I think that might be overwhelming because they're not all like the Iron Brigade. Not sure now what to do with the 11th Corps, like I say, because this line is not going to be able to hold, I don't think, on Seminary Ridge unless I divert somebody from the 11th Corps to go up there in behind them, or I slide 2nd Division over from the 1st Corps, slide them over there, and then allow the 11th Corps to fill in this hole here. Rhodes has a couple of regiments that have been shot up. They're not very strong, and the Union regiments right there hit them pretty hard. Plus you got artillery firing on them from over there. You know, the Union's got to do what they can with what they got on the board, because they don't get nothing for quite a while. I'm not even sure who's next to come on board. Is it the 3rd Corps later in the day? Or 2nd Corps? I think 2nd Corps comes before 3rd. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the reinforcement chart. But like I said, you got Pender over there. You can see he's getting ready to go around the outside, or he's getting ready to hit Rowley. Heth has done enough damage. He's not combat ineffective. Davis's brigade they've really only got one regiment that's worth a nickel. The other two have morales of 2 when they're full. And I actually got this one regiment here underneath that attack marker to rally. And I've given up attempting with the other ones, because every time I roll, I end up losing a strength point. Confederates definitely have more artillery on the board. Although these guys right now here, they're sitting here on McPherson's Ridge. They're useless right now. Because I can't move them up because of where the Union is. And these guys haven't got into position yet. Plus Pender's got his own guns that are coming around over here. They'll probably get up in the fight here before long. I think right now this hinges on what happens to the 3rd Division. If they get pounded, then... this is going to be one of those decisions you got to make almost instantaneously, because you can't allow them to get totally smoked by Pender before you debate or decide what you're going to do with the rest of the line up here. Right now, like I say, it's not looking good for the 2nd Division. Don't know if they have anything left in them to fight, because like I said, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, I think there might be 4 collapsed regiments there. So he's got to get out of there. So I got to decide what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to shift or whether I'm going to send an 11th Corps unit in there to plug the gap. You know, can't leave those victory points wide open. You have to do something. All right, so we're gonna play the rest of this one out. Like I say, there's a couple more chits to draw. I think the 11th Corps is it, which could be a big thing. And then we'll you know, I'm gonna go ahead and post this, but then we'll go a couple more turns and post again. All right. Hey, if you enjoy this stuff, like I say, give me a like, and if you want to keep up to date with what's going on, subscribe and hit that old bell. Somebody give me a comment about the casualties. Does it seem too much? Good dice rolls, that's all I can say. Muskets are very accurate. The rifled muskets have been very accurate. All right, we'll get back to you with some more as soon as more develops. Thanks for watching.